Dip in your hip and glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Warning! This video contains content that is not suitable for all audiences. Some of the information in the following video could be shocking to some viewers and is likely to cause unexpected reactions. This video is for educational purposes only and does not break any of the YouTube's policies as outlined in their community guidelines. Viewers' discretion advised, and welcome. Now for your show. Good afternoon, travelers and those alike. Welcome to this edition of the Orion Effect, the Enigma Machine, live here at the cabin on 360. Tonight's show is brought to you by Boo's Paranormal Equipment, the right price for the right equipment for the right person. Also coming to you is Ghost of Stanton, Virginia, GOS. Get your reservation, take the tour today. Don't miss out.
Don't miss out.
Oh, it's going to be a long night. I'm the quintessential cosmic surfer of the universe. I'm in my general mode. I am Howie.
And I am Rhonda, and I can see I'm already going to have my hands full tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Where's your hat? A hat is in the car. I am exhausted and tired, and I was like, I forgot something, and oh well. I'm not going to do
it.
Yes.
We have another hat.
And another hat.
What? Yeah, right there.
I am not wearing the Irish cuckoo hat tonight. However,
Irish cocky hat.
I don't know.
Cuckoo hat.
Cuckoo.
Okay.
Kaki kunaki cuckoo.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda. Everybody, help me, Rhonda.
No. We're not going there. No.
Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda.
Great show. Good night.
We want to welcome everybody in chat. I'm going to relinquish that over to Rhonda real quick. We're going to get started. Tonight's show, we're going to be talking about general theories, understandings, and our opinions and our insight to all of it, trying to find that key to move us forward from where we're at. And I will leave it to Rhonda because I can't see chat.
Hello, Tim Sage. Hello, John Harris. Hello, Shayla Rickard. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Hello and good evening to you. So tonight we have a very select panel. Of course, I have my brother from ASPS. It's with us, one of the half of the frogs. And then from GI Paranormal, Jason Gray's in the house.
Jason!
What? So we want to welcome everybody. You like that? Was it? Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to Keith and the crew
Oh yeah.
from
absolutely.
RNN and
RNN.
Yeah.
Lord,
Hi,
help
Keith.
me. Just so you know, he's been with me since 2:00 last night.
We are spooked up.
This is what happens to him on an investigation the day
This
after.
is what happens with rice balls.
That's what she said.
Happening.
So where were you last night?
Yes, where were you?
I was at home
What?
What?
Why were you
Yep.
at home?
because I was tired and I didn't have it in me to do any investigating. So I sat that one out.
Okay.
All right. Well, I can go with that.
Sometimes
We did 4 days last weekend. 4
We'll
days.
let it slide. We'll let it slide this time.
We'll give you your members only. Here's your get out of jail free card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very rare that I bail, and I was just like, I just can't. I don't have it in me.
Well, you know what? It's understandable. We all need to take a little bit of a break. I did it
Yeah.
myself. But I will say last night I think it was pretty hype because we had 2 locations. Jason, you were.
I was in Rigas Historical Park with Crop assisting them with a public event to help support the park.
And Kenny and I were at Cold Harbor Battlefield supporting the anniversary support and supporting Historical Society, reenactors of the United States. It was really, really an opportune time that couldn't have been better. So
Excuse me.
the what we got out of there last night was amazing.
Nice.
You know, new things definitely came about. So, I'm kind of glad that last week's show got postponed to get into this week because now it's given us a little bit more to talk about tonight.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. On a positive, yes.
You know,
Yes.
it's really a great move. So you took your time, but nobody got to hear from you last weekend. So what did you do last weekend, Rhonda?
I was at Sage Paracon from Thursday to Sunday night, like midnight-ish. 1-ish sometime.
Where?
Sage
What-
Paracon at Bell Grove.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were at Bell Grove. I was getting ready to ask
Yeah.
you about
It's a good time. MJ puts on a really good event. The speakers are top notch. The events, everything is just spot on. So it's a good time. It's one of the most exhausting yet fun weekends ever.
There you go.
Was Kim
And we'll
there?
be back in September of 2025.
There it is. There it is. we got a lot of events going down. We've already participated in a lot of good events. So I'm really thankful for the opportunities that all these locations provide to us to be able to do these events and to help the public and to actually educate the public. If you think about it, it's really a great thing. I wanted to get together with everybody tonight and just have a bit of a round table. You know, that's why we call this the Enigma Machine. And, you know, Rhonda, like I said, I'm probably going to just release chat to you. And if anybody has some good questions or even your thoughts, share your thoughts with our.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's break into this. So you've been doing this with me. You're ahead of me a couple of years, and we've been doing this a very long time. And I've been working with Jason for about a year now. And I think we all have a really good grasp on our own opinions and thoughts. And that's what it's all about. That's how we find our answers. What do you guys think the paranormal is? Jason, what do you think?
I think it's mainly, this is going to sound like a cop-out answer, but it's what you make of it. If you go in with a negative attitude thinking that nothing's going to happen or whatever, then of course nothing's going to happen.
Mhm.
You know, that's the energy that you put out there. But then again, going out there and saying everything's paranormal is a double-handed sword. Is that not the kind of answer you're looking for?
No, that's your answer,
No,
not
I don't
mine.
know,
Don't
man.
look at me and go, is that okay?
Well, no, what I mean is like,
Fuck
what
no.
kind of question do you like?
I'm just looking at you. Yeah, how you
Oh, so
feel
with the
about it.
paranormal, what I feel about the paranormal is
Now we're
simple.
talking.
All right, I took his hat off.
Oh, that is off.
Shit's about to get deep.
My thinking cap took it off. But anyway,
Hey,
what I
brother
think of
Keith.
it is there's energy out there that does have an effect on us every day.
Yeah.
I do think that most of the time it can and does influence decisions that people make, whether it be positive or negative. I do think that our loved ones, you know, you can't destroy energy.
Mm.
You know, you can just turn it into another machine. So it goes from like a water dam. The water from the river runs the hydraulics and whatever in the hydro dam. That again turns the force of the water into electricity, which it turns goes to our house. It gets used through our devices. And it's the same thing with spiritual energy or physical energy of people, souls. You can't get rid of it. So it's there, it's around. It's just that if you choose to believe or not, it comes down to it.
I like that.
What about you?
I've got a lot of mixed emotions about it, but because our parents were involved in the church for them, and they kind of spurred us off and kind of let us explore. For me, it's an exploration of spirituality. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, or whatever. It seems like the ultimate goal is to find and research what is out there more than the physical body. Last night was kind of a redemption night for Howard and myself, because when we started out, well, he started out, but I kind of followed in later, was like 35 or 40 years ago. We did
40 years ago.
Yeah, it was a
Oh,
redemption
God.
night for us to properly. That's one thing I want to throw out there for the investigator. Please try and do it properly, because we almost went to jail.
Really? You're going there?
Not at a bad.
Here we go.
Because we were inexperienced, and like Rhonda, I had a mentor to help her come along, and Kim, myself, and Howard. We, kind of experienced different things, but we're all kind of heading towards the ultimate goal. As far as paranormal, the true honesty, I want to know. I want to find out. I try not to go into an investigation with a fixed expectation of I'm going to hear something. It's going to happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And you come into it thinking that it's going to be something. And one night you might find something, and the next night everything gets lit up. So, but paranormal to me, in a nutshell, is to search out the unknown and try and find a cause and effect for it, if there is even one, because there's too many things out there that the human mind is not capable of comprehending at our stage of level of evolution.
Consciousness.
So that's all. That's all I got.
What do you think, Rhonda?
I mean, I really agree a lot with what Jason said, and what Ken said. I mean, I think the paranormal is for all of us, just to figure out what is out there, what's beyond us, to understand that it gives people some kind of peace too, to know what happens when we're gone. What are our options? Like, will we be able to go see people we used to love, or are we going to be, what's going to happen? So I think we're all just kind of chasing answers.
Yeah.
Jason,
We get it.
I like the way you just said that.
Yeah.
I think that is the best way to put it, because we don't know what the paranormal is, in my opinion. How I feel about it now. What I thought the paranormal was is not at all what I thought it was. It is ever changing. It is different. there's so many complex situations that apply to the word paranormal now that it's almost mind-blowing. Because when you think, when we were young, we had Ghostbusters. Dum, 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 dum. We thought that's what it was. And now I'm going, that ain't nothing but the top of the icing of the many layers of what it is and what it could possibly be. I mean, that's why I wanted us all to talk. Let's throw these ideas around. It'd be great if Ryan was here.
Well,
'Cause, you know,
There, added to that, there's also, when you talk about paranormal, then you have to bring in bring in paranormal, and then you have to
Paratrain.
bring in the crypto people, the Sasquatch people, the UFO people, because we all kind of work. I like the fact that we all kind of work together. I'm into UFOs and conspiracies, but I don't like to talk about that too much.
But it's still paranormal, isn't it?
Right, it's paranormal. And speaking of paranormal, I always feel like my mom and dad are talking to me, my oldest sister's talking to me, my relatives, especially last night when we were at the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like our great grandfather was talking to us because when he was 15 years old, and it was an imprint in history's point in time. So it would have been cool if he'd have walked up to us in the middle of the
Great-grandfather.
right.
Okay.
But it would have been great if a 15-year-old kid would have walked up to us and said, "Hey, I'm so and so and so forth." So you go from a paranormal to a UFO, or what do you do?
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
I experienced that yesterday, and I wanted to talk about that for a minute, you guys.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the thing is, we're always talking about, you always hear negative things about the paranormal a lot of times, or, oh, I had this situation, or I had that, but we never talk about how it brings people together.
Yeah.
Okay. And yesterday, I think both groups, and I'm going to say, you know, GI Paranormal and Crop, and I'm going to say yes, at their both locations, just like Rhonda and FPRI at Sage Paracon, you're meeting people from all over the place. And I think now we're seeing how these events, that we can help those events, natural history events, preserving the history through the paranormal, which I was involved with back in the day with Bill Freeman at Selma Mansion. On forward, it's bringing people together. And like yesterday, and you guys jump in here. Feel free to jump in. I met 4 different guys that were reenactors, and each one of them had some kind of connection. And then to find out that my great grandfather had a connection to some of them in some way,
Wow.
was really amazing. And I was able to listen and learn some more from those guys too.
Yeah.
I learned the correct history instead of the history I thought was. And I'm like, wow. And then we were talking about people coming and them reburying him. But there's that negative. But on the positive side, oh, look, there's a positive to that? Yeah, right? They brought up the time capsule that was at, right?
Yeah.
That was at that statue. And in that, as they opened it up and they pulled out one specific book, which was a tour guide of the battlefields around Richmond. Kenny and I's great grandfather was the tour guide for that. And these guys were like, "That was your grandfather?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was my great grandfather."
Our family still actually have copies of that tour guide from the city of Richmond.
So there's
That's pretty
exactly.
wild.
So there's connections. I met a lot of people yesterday at Cold Harbor that I would have never thought I would ever had the chance to meet. What about you? I mean, I'm sure at Henricus you met some team members you never met before and experienced some new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I met a guy from, I don't know, his guy Doug from Pennsylvania. I don't know his part of Crop.
Okay.
He was another veteran there.
Okay.
So that was cool. The farthest person that we had come out was from Illinois.
Okay.
That was
Wow.
Dennis's sister and her husband.
Okay.
Same house is cool. Nice to meet them. They're very nice people. Nothing like eventful as like what you had.
Well,
happen.
that was an event where we were at. You guys had a pre-selected
we did.
investigation.
We really did.
But you still met people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I met a lot of people. A lot of, especially, you find out how much people are really into the paranormal, or are really just want to learn about it because you meet them, the same people at a bunch of different events.
Right.
You know, and it really shows you how much people are willing to learn or willing to accept.
Well, I think the other
theories.
thing is people are now very inquisitive about the paranormal, where it was hoodoo voodoo back in the day.
Yeah.
All thanks to TV.
Mhm.
You know, and one thing I always tell them is, you know, whatever you watched on TV, forget it. Because it's not like that. You know, we got that in the church down in Henrico, down at the hospital, for an hour and nothing happened. You know, people getting restless, and I'm like, we told you this is what happens. They probably stay there 2 or 3 days for TV just to get that half an hour, 45 minutes worth of film to put on TV. 90% of the time, you're sitting there talking to yourself, unless something starts happening. See, right there, it's like John just said.
Yeah.
He opened up the field for us.
I think it's, there was to always disbenefit, there's a benefit.
Yeah.
And I agree. That's kind of like going back to what I was saying before. A lot of people have always had the issues about paradrama and, all of this, but in the long run, I mean, it's brought a lot of people together.
Yeah.
Well, the one TV show that out of all of them are the plumbers from New Jersey. Those guys.
That's
Taps.
That was ghost
Hunters. Yeah.
I mean, they kind of push forward the TV thing. I have to give them.
Yeah.
I have to give them
But
credit
before Ghost Hunters, there was Ghost Adventures UK.
Yeah.
Now that could have been skeptical. We don't know, but it was made for TV. All of it's made for TV. But that was where the craze started, because they would put live events on AOL or on website, and you can go to the website and be a part of the investigation for an online thing. And,
let's watch it.
Yeah.
But then even then, you're still, even if it is a legit thing, you're not there yourself to be able to see this is what's happening, or are they putting us on?
Right.
Because a lot of the reactions that people get from TV, or if they get touched, if something happens around me, I might be like, oh shit.
Right.
But that's, excuse me, YouTube. Why we're
applause, we're good.
Yeah. You might be like, I might be like, oh shit, and then the person next to you has the same event. They're like, oh my god, this is freaking fantastic. And it's like, okay, are you putting me on right now? Dramatic things is what gives us, to me, is the discredit to our
It's
own.
those WTF moments.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
How you can control it. You should be able to control. We're adults, we should be able to control our reactions. But I see your point. I mean, there's a lot of people that are getting into paranormal. Look, I'm being all politically correct. There's a lot of Ghostbusters, a lot of ghost hunters out there.
Yeah.
They're in it for the thrill. Shoot the thrill, AC/DC, right?
Yep.
So I get that. There's different levels.
I mean, I'd like to have the thrill and to chase the adrenaline and the events to happen. But for me to act like that, it's going to have to be like I watch a house levitate or something. I mean, like, from going from, oh shit to, oh shit. Did you see that?
Touche.
You know,
I think it really does become with the experience and how much experience you get out of the paranormal and the time you put into it, and then what you have interacting with it.
And then how you get touched. This versus, okay, yeah, something just rubbed my hand. Or, something just hit me in the back. If you're reacting to jumping.
Nut shot.
Yeah, nut shot or something off just being like touched on your hand or something. It's like, yeah, that's exciting.
So I got to share
when
a
it
story
happened to
with
me,
that.
it scared the shit out of me. I was in Belle Grove and something touched me on the neck while I was in the bed. I wasn't man enough to turn around and look.
And my
wife, her back was facing me and I was facing her. So I know sure as hell it wasn't her. And I was like, man, please don't let that shit happen.
Who was that friend of yours who swears up and down he had a gross relationship?
Oh God, let's not talk about Charlie. Charlie.
Ray had a ghost relationship on Ghostbusters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd, yeah.
That happened.
I think that would be interesting.
You had
No,
to bring
I don't
Charlie
know
up.
that one.
You don't.
Is
want
that
to-
considered an attachment, Rhonda?
Yeah, Rhonda.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
my God. I guess it would be a form of attachment. I guess positive or negative depends on you.
The opposite sex of a ghost.
Oh, what if it's a gay ghost? Hey, man,
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it's June. We got to give props to the gays.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So what if it's a gay
Oh my
ghost?
Lord.
If you wake up in your store, you'll know.
Yeah.
I gotta, I don't need to bring politics.
But no, let's go to the medium. What would you
Rhonda's
think?
turning red.
No, I see that's funny.
Rhonda, have you had some ghost encounters?
No, I have not had any ghost encounters.
Were you shocked?
No. I guess it could be a form of attachment. I don't know. This just went way sideways. Way sideways. I guess you would consider that an attachment, but I guess I would, like I said, whether it's a negative or a positive depends on how much you enjoy it. I don't know.
But
I
it's
didn't
not
get a clear answer from her on that.
but wouldn't you, by technical term, that's an attachment, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, I think.
Well, is it a? Oh my God!
There we go.
Is it a one-time thing, or is it like repeated? I guess that depends on whether it's an attachment or not. If it's a one-time thing, it's not an attachment, right?
What's that?
If it's a one-time thing, it's not an attachment, right? I don't know.
Conversation took a weird turn.
Yeah,
Y'all took it on a weird turn.
It's just very happy and pleasant. That's what paranormal is supposed to be about. Happy and pleasant.
not if you ask the golf kids. Israel, the seven demons from hell are going to come and get you.
Thank God for the disclaimer earlier.
Thank God for the disclaimer. It's true. It's damn true.
You can think whatever deity you believe in, because we got to be politically correct.
But if you think about it, you gotta look at it from all perspectives. And how is it that they're loving this? How is it that a spirit can actually
molest you?
Yeah, think about it.
Is it molestation if you let it happen?
Okay, now see, that's where I was going.
Astral projection.
Let it happen.
What's that, Rhonda?
Astral projection.
Astral project. Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're getting into remote.
Who has seen the movie Behind Her Eyes?
Have
If
not.
you haven't, you need to watch it.
Never heard.
So you're saying there's a possibility that an individual can create and project themselves to another person
Yes.
and do spiritual wang with them.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
what's
Oh
scary.
my God, the room just brightened up behind her when she said it. All dark and
I know I saw
the
that.
screen just lit up.
Why is the other camera bouncing like that?
I'm not sure. Is it because maybe our legs were
Other camera? You got another camera?
It's right there. Come on, man.
She said the other camera.
There's a camera here.
And a camera there.
And a camera there.
I think it's my legs.
It's the other camera.
I was doing the bouncy thing with my legs. I'm sorry. My
Oh my
bad.
goodness.
Having a party.
Yeah, party.
Good time.
It's my party.
Let's not say that too much. There's only 3 dudes.
Yeah,
so-
sure. So,
Sausage
okay.
party.
No thanks. So that's a valid point, though. So you brought another equation all the way into this. Is self-projection. Self-projection. That's what she said.
You ejaculate? No, I'm self-projected.
Oh my God.
So we go from
Oh my
the
God.
we go from the paranormal into that spiritual realm into physical realm where we now are manipulating another individual.
You have to be
by using
careful
our energy.
saying physical Metaphysical, correct? Is that the right terminology, Rhonda? Metaphysical?
Well, you're still in the physical body.
Because
Not when
my
you're
wife
projected.
told
When
me all
you
the time.
project it, it goes metaphysical. But I was
Yeah.
talking about physical to
Right, she didn't answer.
energy.
Yeah, why'd you cut her off?
I'm speechless at this point.
Didn't know it was going there, huh? I didn't either.
We didn't. It just
I got nothing.
Can you imagine if you were here?
So glad I'm not.
You would be breathing.
horrible. Why would you not want to be here?
I know. Weird.
If you came, we could have done the show from up in the Pearl,
Oh no, we could not.
and then it could devolve into.
No, they have specifically said we do not want the show up there.
They did.
Yes.
Then we will not have done this.
3 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is interesting because they gave opinion and thought. Here's
Yeah.
another thing: spirit giving opinion and thought. They told us directly, no,
I mean, that's,
we don't want you, and they asked us not to. Rhonda, what do you think about that when an entity has the ability to actually say their input into action? Have you had that at Belgrove or any of the
What
other?
do you mean? Like they tell you to leave, or they tell you to?
Well, you know what? I guess that would be part of
Take-
it too, wouldn't it?
Well, just take the question exactly how he asked it. I mean, I'm not trying to be. You look at it for what it is. Do they have the ability to? What do you think about them saying, "Hey, I don't want you here," or "Hey, I don't want this done up here"? Like giving intelligent answers.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, I think that would be their prerogative, right? In their minds, that's their place. That's
what do
their
we-
home. That's where they want to be. And if they feel like they have the right to tell you what to do,
And what do we continue to do? We stay there. When they say leave,
yeah.
we still probe the prod.
I don't. If I go that far as to say,
yeah.
hey, if you tell me to leave and you don't want to be bothered, I'll leave.
Yep.
No problem. And
Opposite of that, what if you have entities or a group of entities that you tell them that you have to leave? That you have to leave. I
that's
mean,
where my mind went to.
you have to leave not because they're running us out, but because we have to leave because we have another event to go to, and they're basically asking you to stay with us or stay with them.
Yes,
I mean, that could happen. We've actually did one of our most recent investigations at the end. We kind of said, all right, no, we're leaving. Goodbye. And we actually got on an EVP. John got on an EVP that said, okay, goodbye. Good night.
See, you know what? That led me to something else. Now, that I want to back her up on that. When we were researching Selma Mansion in Norristown, Pennsylvania, it came across the spirit box saying at 11 o'clock, good night.
Oh, they're done.
And boom, everything stopped. So that shows boundaries too.
Yeah.
Which is really intriguing. So we need to learn our boundaries and respect their boundaries, which unfortunately the mass of para researchers and ghost hunters do not do. They do not respect boundaries.
Yeah.
Let's face fact. There's too many people out there that want to agitate and create bigger issues. And then they walk away and like, oh, I didn't do anything. I got my reactions. What's going to happen 20 years from now? Our time is not their time.
No, their time is probably whatever era
Their era or whatever
Stuck in.
consists of their quantum thought.
Yeah.
So here we go. You create your own issue when you continue doing such, and maybe that's why you get an attachment. That's maybe why you get that negative stuff going on because you broke their boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries, we have to respect the spiritual world boundaries. I mean, we're not doing that.
I just had the thought, I think it's okay if they say like leave or go to stay, but maybe that's where we need to switch the questioning to understand why they want us to go. What have we done that upset them?
Yeah. Agreed. We need information. We need answers. That way we learn how to communicate proper to whatever plane of existence we're communicating with at that time. In fact, it's come now to the fact that we're actually talking to the future. It's not the past that we're communicating with. There's theories now that say there are events that we are communicating to our future selves or our future, and they are looking back at us, and we're the damn ghost at the present time.
Oh, damn.
Quantum. And, where are we respecting that?
It's like the Flash with the Speed Force.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, and two, are we actually a ghost, or is it just they can't see us clearly because they're in between? I don't know.
Speed Force.
No, I mean, no, you're right. You're right.
Think about that. It's
It's
Never thought
mind
about
blowing
it
and
that- yeah.
confusing, but it's true. And you know, blind movement. As long as we respect each other's boundaries, and we hear that, and I agree, we have to change the question when we hear that.
Yeah.
You know, let's find out why, but also let's not instigate a situation which could make that location or event or place worse as far as activity in a negative manner could be. You know, we're only tipping the source. And it's just like I've been saying for months now. Einstein and Tesla both said you need to understand the paranormal, you need science and religion to come together.
Yeah.
And we're just now seeing that. I think.
What did Rebecca say?
I astral project on cases weekly, and she also said, I thought she had something else in there.
Whatever Air Force is
Air Force.
astro projection. Did that this morning.
Oh, God. Let's go back to Rebecca real quick before we get down that rabbit hole
Elaborate on
again.
that, sir.
Rebecca, I mean, she's got it's a valid point. Oh, there's Ariana. She jumped in here. Now, let me ask you, Rebecca, let's get involved. Let's get that chat involved. Can you, when you're doing your self-projection, can you physically affect another individual, or is it merely on a visual aspect? That's another great point, because that's going to go back to the question we had earlier.
Well, yeah, you're kind of going, what's the difference between remote viewing and astral projection?
Yeah, and that was my point. Hey, Ariana, my daughter's on.
But I mean, to me, we'll wait for her to respond. But to me, remote viewing is me able to just go in my mind's eye and see a location and see what's happening. Astral projecting, my soul is going to that place. That's where, like, sometimes people wake up and they can't move. It's because they're detached.
Right.
Well, this is the Chinese Tibetan monks.
I'll go get another cup of coffee.
The Chinese Tibetan monks.
Chinese Tibetan.
Bruce Lee used to do a thing called creative visualization. And whereas he's cycling through his motions of his karate style, and he kind of visualize what's going on. That's what I kind of relate astral projection to. You agree with that, Rhonda?
Kind of. I think astral projection, can be both. I think you can will yourself to do it, to go to do some like casework, like she was talking about, like if you're looking for lost individuals or working on cold cases or something like that. But a lot of times most people experience they experience astral projection when they're asleep. Most of the time.
Deep subconscious.
Or in an altered state of consciousness, like meditation or something of that nature.
How would the unexperienced with astral projection
Gotta be careful.
recognize they were or realize they were doing that?
Oh.
Ugh.
If I'm asleep, I don't know anything. I personally don't know anything about astral projection. So how would I, if I had an episode, how would I know what
I can't. I'm not real good on astral projection. I know that what I've heard from people say, they have the experience where they'll wake up and they're hovering over an area and they see people in the room. I've had them say they'll do something like that, or they're just hovering, they'll see a room, and sometime in the near future, they see that location and they're like, I've had people who like they're coming back from astral projecting and they kind of wake up and they can't move their body, but they see their self coming back in.
or like even
A lot of people that astral project are really tired after they've slept for hours and hours because they've been out doing other things.
I'm about to twist this whole thing because of what she just said. Keep going, Rhonda.
That's just it. But what were you going to say?
Can y'all think about this? What if we're not seeing spirits at all? What if actually we're just seeing self-projections of humankind?
We could be.
It just hit me. I went.
I mean, you and I were having a conversation where you got hit in a combat zone, you basically went out.
Yeah, I mean, I was blacked out in the bottom of this vehicle, and everything was like black, but it was like super freaking black. And my consciousness, my body, I knew my body wasn't like moving or anything like that, but my mind was like, am I dead? How do I know I'm dead? How do I even know I'm alive? And then very, very slowly it came back. I could hear somebody
And then when you had
screaming
your car
next to me. I don't know what that was. Did I? Could I just, God was like, hey man, ain't your time. Get your ass back down there. Bam, and just pushed me back.
Right.
How could I like recognize that? Not really. That's one thing that scared the daylights out of me.
Self-consciousness or conscious collective awareness. This is really intriguing. I don't like talking about it because Rhonda's on. All right. I understand where you're coming from, and I don't want to talk about it on here right now.
Okay.
But I understand in what you're saying because the experience was similar. That's kind of dumb. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not going to talk about it.
I know what you're talking about. But,
Yeah, but that was intriguing, what you just said, because of the experience. How many other people have that experience, have had that experience?
Yeah.
And here we are in life-death situation. And then we are conscious to our unconscious thought when we're asleep. God, we almost are talking about the Matrix on a certain level. We're the damn vessels. And when our body's at rest, we're released to go travel and do whatever in an altered state. Wow.
I mean, I
just went too deep. Sorry, y'all.
I don't think my consciousness went anywhere.
Yeah.
I think it probably stayed right where it was.
Right.
But it was like something's not right. It's all black and I can't move. I'm not moving.
Right.
Am I? And it's weird. I saw that.
I don't know. That brings up a good topic. What's the difference between a NDE and astral projection? I don't know.
Because I didn't, like I said, I didn't see anything.
Right.
I didn't leave the body. I didn't leave the area. Everything was just fucking black.
Okay. Yeah.
Black like that tablecloth.
When I was in school, I went to school with some unique people, and some of these unique people had traumatic things happen to them
Because they smoke too much pot.
No. So, and some of these people were very smart outside of school.
Oh yeah.
With stuff, and they were very savant in their areas. But when they were in school, they had a hard time dealing with school. One, they were bored with it.
Oh shit, Michael Orndorff. That's a perfect example. You can say it.
I know of a guy who lives here in Mechanicsville, who's a hell of a body guy, but he hated school.
Yeah.
There's several other, I think there had to have been a traumatic injury or something, a very emotional happened to some of these kids for them to have to go, and I hate to say it, go through special education because they, now that's not, now people with Asperger's and stuff, I think they're savant.
Okay. Which rabbit hole are you going down?
Different kind of
Robert Turin, I believe Robert Turin was savant. Okay. Edgar Casey, Einstein himself, he couldn't dress himself. He basically had to have somebody. These are genius people.
True. That's actually fact. That is actual fact. You're right.
And I think even Stephen Hawkins. So, I mean.
So could these individuals who you're referring to, can they do were they doing self-projection? Tesla, Tesla was all about it. I mean, he was all about the whole thought of self-projection, remote viewing and using free energy. Let's go there and talk about it for a second.
Elon Musk.
Okay, I didn't really want to talk about it.
I didn't want to. I'm just saying for an example.
But these are legit facts of where does science come into play with the religion? And we're talking about self-projection. We're talking about spiritual. We're talking about spirits and entities. Well, how many people believe out there that a lot of what we're interacting with too is something that's not even from this planet, then it could be extraterrestrial.
Right.
Define extraterrestrial. Does that mean that it's physical or dimensional extraterrestrial? Isn't that, as long as it's not from here in a solid matter, that means it's extraterrestrial, right? Would
Well, isn't that a ghost? Because they're not here in the present time, and they're not solid, I guess.
not solid? Bingo. Now, here I'm going to throw this equation out there because something I'm working on. I'll let you guys think about this for a second because I want some help, and I know we have some brilliant people that watch this show, and we have some brilliant people with us right now. Now, I've been working on an equation to prove that ghosts exist, a physical equation that exists. Einstein was on it. He, by the mathematics, he was able to explain that spirits do exist. But I want the formula. Have we forgotten one thing? All atoms are gaseous. They're not solid. So therefore, if it's a gaseous form, there has to be an equation to help us understand that there is a possibility that spirits can be defined, because we know through science now that atoms are not a solid matter. Therefore, there should be an equation for us to actually say there is a possibility of a multi-levels. It's not just human spirit. It's not alien spirit. It's dimensional spirit. These are all gaseous forms. We're all gas. Don't go there. I'm just
Tesla, he got hung up on the frequency levels.
Right, frequency. Yeah.
3.141. I'm just using that for example. That's example. But he got hung up onto it, and that was one of the reasons. He swore he was talking to aliens from another planet. He could have been talking to future people. He could have been talking to ghosts or spirits.
Well, okay.
Frequency vibrates gas and atoms.
Yes. Thank you. Wow, you actually got me to the point where I needed to be, what I was talking. Holy crap. The hell's happening here? So to follow that up, back in the 70s, you and I have talked about this, and I've talked about it on this show. Back in the 70s, there was a trucker that was in West Virginia that would go to a certain place in West Virginia on one of the mountains, and his CB was peaked to a certain point that he was communicating to something and would never tell anybody who he was talking to. But he would say that it was not from this planet.
Huh.
Yeah, and this is in many theories and many stories. It's really interesting. I think it's called Ghost Trucker. Check it out. It's intriguing to me. Now, of course, now it leads us into equipment now. I think we're using the wrong equipment. And then after last night, I'm going, maybe we have added to the equipment because maybe we just don't know exactly what the hell we're doing and using. So we need to find out. That's one of the things. Instead of going, I got it on this, how and why did you get it on that?
Yeah, if you can explain the how and the why, then it'll lead to the other answers very easily.
That's what I'm looking for.
Very simply.
Yeah.
It was 5 W's and an H.
And you're looking at it for 3.33.
Well, I'm just looking.
Shayla, great to hear from you all. My eyes are getting heavy. Absolutely, Shayla, and thank you for joining in. Appreciate you being here. I hope you had a great time last night. Yeah, I don't even want to go back to that because that could be a whole other conversation between two locations. But that intrigues me because that's something I do want to do as a double investigation. One group be at one location, another group work with another one, and we trade off questions, kind of like doing the Estes method on crack, a distance Estes method using conscious collective communication.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Maybe work with CROP or FPRI. Rhonda, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we did a mini session that time at the cabin. It's very interesting to try to send things back and forth and see what you get.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to open new methods. We really got to start thinking outside the box to really try. Our goal in the paranormal should be two things. First objective, communication. Second objective, understanding. Are they understanding us? Are we understanding them? Are we communicating proper to them? Are they communicating proper to us? So we know the established equation. So it's pi equals square, or pi divided by square equals triangle. I don't know how the hell that just came about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What he said.
But you have 2 points that equal what you're looking for, and that's your basis. So our basis is communication and to understand what hurts them. Can something what we're doing hurt that spirit?
Right.
Like if we're going to help a homeowner, it's not the homeowner. Maybe it's the spirit that's got the problem. Can we solve that with helping the spirit resolve it between the homeowner? A lot of times we thinking we go into it and we're going in to help the homeowner with the spirit. Maybe the problem is the homeowner.
Yeah.
It may not be a spirit at all.
Right.
Oh, wait, look at it.
Yeah.
That's where you take a registered psychiatrist with you.
Oh boy. Psychology 101. Here we go.
What about, this is going to be off that subject, what about deja vu?
Deja vu.
Now, I've experienced this too many times in my life, especially as a kid, to understand it.
Now, deja vu is paranormal.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Because I remember this. I don't know why this sticks out. It's the only event that really does stick out. The end of the school year, 5th grade, I had this. I mean, we went and tore off like the borders to the bulletin board and was cleaning all that stuff off. You know, teachers give us something to do to have a little bit of fun or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, we go into school, and I'm doing the exact same thing, in the exact same order, and I'm asking myself, didn't we already do this? That's something I want to like understand too, is I don't how that works. It's like, is that somebody having some kind of,
Are you time hopping, or are you like, had you already been there and done that?
having some kind of ability to see into the future?
Well,
Right.
on this, another theory of this is what they call the opposite strange, okay, or the upside down. Your deja vu is the reaction of the complete opposite of the other world or plane that you exist in. So, in other words, you're experiencing what your other self is actually going through. So, it's a flip flop. So, it's interesting how it's 2. One could be you experience it in the past, or you're going to experience it in the future, like that whole I've been here, holy crap.
Well, that's what I'm saying about this event that happened. Like, I've had it happen other times during my life, but this is the one that sticks out all the time.
Do you feel like you had it more when you were a child or now? I feel like I had it more when I was a child.
A lot more when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I think that's more because as children, we're more open to things. We haven't been
filters.
taught to things in the world that are real and not real. You know, religion doesn't get in the way of explaining things away.
Yeah.
You know, like I could swear that when I was a kid, there was a picture of my great grandfather used to hang on our wall, and if I stared at it long enough, it looked like the mouth would start moving.
Oh wow! Okay.
But come to find out, as I learned as I became a Marine, if you look at stare at anything for a long enough, it will start looking like it's moving.
Pareidolia.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, and it's
another form of pareidolia.
So when I look at things now, or somebody goes, "Did you see that by that tree?" I don't look at that tree. I look to the left or to the right of it, because you're more likely to catch things in your peripheral vision.
Yeah.
You're going to see this a lot faster than you're going to see.
Well said.
This.
Yeah, psychologically.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was that's amazing.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't explain the other shit that I've seen here done.
But we're getting closer. To get an answer, you have to ask the question. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to ask more questions, but we need to ask them. We need to ask better questions or the right questions. And we haven't been asking the right questions just yet. I think we're getting close.
It's just amazing. Like how did this happen? How come we didn't do this? The upside down thing, once again, Speed Force.
Could be Speed Force if you look at it that, but on the other end, that's a complete opposite theory of quantum. You're basing on plane existence, because planes are at levels and they're columns that hold it, time columns that hold them. So you're experiencing what yourself here on this plane, you're feeling or seeing your action at another plane.
Like the multiverse.
It is.
How
Yeah,
it's
it is multiverse theory. Yes.
Yeah, how it's.
Woohoo!
But that was just amazing things that
This should have gone 2
I
hours.
feel should have.
This could have gone 2
We
hours.
can make this go 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Oh God! Don't. Oh, Rhonda, it's a good thing you're
What?
not here. It's a good thing you're not
Mhm.
here.
I gotta worry about when I start painting these two pink and then
If you start painting the damn nails, I'm gonna really worry.
what about the whole finger?
So what do you got coming up, Jason? You got anything or other parties? How can people reach out to you if they want to contact you?
If you're gonna contact me, you can either go to GI Paranormal on Facebook. That's my our main page there. Or you can email me at jasonagray09@gmail.com. Message me myself from Facebook. Just look me up.
Watch your side business.
Watch your
Oh, side
business.
business. Okay, so it hasn't been made official because I don't feel like paying taxes.
Honestly,
His side, like his gifts he does for people.
Yeah, my gifts I make for
Yes.
people
I like
that I take generous donations for. I call it GI design. If you said a tip, yeah, I take the tip.
Yeah,
Or whatever. That would not be. That doesn't. Thank you, Rhonda. That was a great setup. The tip. I take the tip. So, mugs, hats, T-shirts, sublimation. I'm not a master of anything, but if you ask me to do something, I do the best that my abilities allow. Take this awesome Rift cup, that work cup that
Travelers.
I'll
in
be
the
drinking that
house.
Did you make this one too?
I did not
No.
make that one.
Okay,
That came
but for
from
some
Ninja.
reason Howard keeps on saying this one's bigger than his.
Really? Are we
It
doing
is big.
That's what
It's a
she's.
big, big.
That's a big one.
I take everything on orders on a case by case basis. They're made when you ask, when you make the order. That way I keep things straight, first come, first serve.
Yeah.
So if I'm 2 weeks out and you put an order in, you're going to be about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Until you see your stuff.
I'm glad, Rhonda, you brought that up because we really need to get him out because he
Exactly.
does a great job. He really does.
That's what she's
Yes.
There's my baby. Sarah, that's mine.
I mean, I'll put if you really want something made and put it on a cup, brown finger, pink finger, brown pinky. I don't care. I mean, that's yours. I'll make it. I mean, there's something. Look at her. It's a
You're
on
an
a
equal
piece,
opportunity cup maker.
refrigerator magnets. You know, I'll put it on-
keychains.
yeah.
Mr. Hanky.
If you want a Mr. Hanky, a paranormal Mr. Hanky, hey, we can do that too.
Callie. Anybody want to get high?
Yeah, I like that.
That's why we call him Stoner.
I mean, it's
Oh my gosh.
Kenny. Kenny's my homeboy.
What?
Feels like Cornholio.
Did you smoke out?
You just look like Beavis right there. That was really
No, Cornholio.
Did you see the Saturday Night Live skit?
Yes,
Beavis and Butthead?
that was awesome.
Fucking
Oh
dying.
my god, that was so funny.
He's like,
That was so funny.
yeah, the one with the exposed gums. I was like, oh, you can't write it. Well, somebody did write it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Beavis and Butthead on a paranormal investigation?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
you're not a good.
Oh, that's cool.
You messing my butthole.
They jack everything
Cool.
up.
Okay.
The other movies were good, like Beavis and Butthead Do Space or
Yeah.
Or South Park and Beavis and Butthead do a duo on a paranormal investigation. That would be Run Amok.
South Park versus Family Guy. That was funny as a bitch, man.
Oh,
I got to see
wow.
the new South Park movie that's out now
That's all right. I don't
on what's that thing called? CBS Paramount Plus.
Oh yeah, Paramount.
They take on the obesity thing. It's like South Park, the end of obesity. Their miracle drug is Lizzo. If you watch her, you won't give a crap anymore. I'm like, oh my God, they hate me.
All right, I know we're at the top of the hour. Rhonda, what's FPRI and Belgrove got going on for the next year?
There's a rescheduled event at Belgrove this weekend that was supposed to be happening on May the 4th.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a Star Wars themed vendor event. They moved it to this Saturday coming up. The guys from FPRI are going to Braley Pond to investigate. The ladies will be at Belgrove. We'll all be there. And then I think our next investigation is a private one at the end of the month. I think our next public investigation is July 13th. It's a lockdown at Belgrove.
Nice. Now, here at the cabin, I know we're getting ready to have haunted nights here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Like 2 weeks, right?
That's right. In 2 weeks, we'll be having the guys from Tennessee Wraith Chasers out here, Mike and Chris. So that should be a great event. And I could say right now, after last night, we'll see what ASPS does next. I'm really excited about it. I know myself, I will be in Roanoke definitely the weekend of the 21st because I will be doing a judge for a beauty pageant. So that
Nice.
Raglan?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, at the park. So kind of cool. Working it out.
It's beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
That chick looks like a dude. It's because I am.
Actually,
Steven Tyler.
But travelers and those alike, thank you for hanging out with us tonight and hearing this crazy conversation, which we'd love to have. Stay tuned next couple of days to see what's going to go down Sunday, and stay tuned to see the calendar for the next couple of months. Hopefully, we'll have that ready for you. Other than that, stay tuned. Tomorrow night, I know there's an Otterson with Keith Otterberg, Mass Props. And then, of course, Tuesday night, we hope to have Miss Susan back. I'm not so sure because she's going through dental issues and getting some surgery. And Wednesday, of course, will be Miss Joni returns. Yeah, so we're excited.
I'm gonna plug that. Joni is teaching an astrology course.
There you go,
and you go to her page, you can get the links to get there. I took the first course, it was amazing. So looking forward to the second one.
There you go. And let's give some plugs out too for UPRN, our other family on the other side of the fence, if you will. Carrie Lynn and Laura, David, and
we got to give out a shout out to Zealand. Y'all hang in there, New Zealand.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, man. They got it going on out there.
All right.
Well, on the other side of the world, the Pacific. Yeah. New Zealand's kicking.
What are they doing? No, don't.
I'm not.
No.
No, I'm not going to go.
Okay. All right. And thanks to everybody who supports us. We truly appreciate your support in the whole nine. That's what makes this all possible. So, again, I want to give shout outs. And, again, the show is brought to you by Boo's Paranormal Equipment, right price for the right person at the right time. Right here, Cabin 360.
360.
Yeah, and then GOS, Ghost of Stanton. Check them out.
Are you imitating me there, Jason? 360.
Oh, I was myself.
So, travelers and those alike, thank you for being a part of this, and let's continue to help each other every day. And let's get back to being more, ladies and gentlemen, because that's going to help our anxiety, because this world is just too filled with anxiety. Relax, down, and chill.
Yep.
Taylor Swift's that.
Mothership's got a launch.
Mothership is already, we got to go into orbit, baby. Yeah.
That's what you could have at the end of the show. It's like,
we do. We're about to show that now.
oh, damn.
Have a great night, folks. Appreciate you.
Night, everybody. Be good humans this week.
Baby.
You're such a stoner.
Oh, man, Rob.